I get asked a lot of questions on the OneLeaf system, the RapidFire Plus system. How do I zero it? What about the eye relief? You know, how do I go about it all? How do I set it all up? So I thought I'd throw together a quick video for you guys explaining how to set this whole system up, how to zero it, and this also applies a lot of it to zeroing any rifle. So for those without the NV100, you might find it useful as well. Okay guys, we're outside, so please excuse the noises, the sirens and all of that lot, but yeah, we're going to talk about here the RapidFire Plus system, which is the RapidFire scope from OneLeaf and the NV100 from OneLeaf, how to set it all up, how to zero it, and like I said, a lot of this will apply to any scope as well, any digital system. But before we go down there, the usual stuff. For those that don't know me, I'm Steve from Airgunology. I make the occasional video on air rifles, pistols and technology. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. YouTube algorithms love all that stuff. You hit the like button as well, and check the YouTube video description. Down there you'll find a link to all of our Facebook groups, and also more importantly for the new guys that do want to get hold of the OneLeaf system, there is a discount code down there that's through my affiliate link with them, so it can save you a little bit of money as well. So check that out. I'll flash that on screen, and I've also done another video on this system as well as an introduction video. It's up there, one of those two sides. I can never remember where it is, so check that video out as well. Okay, so a lot of times, like I said, I'm getting asked, how do you set this NV system up? So the NV system comes in two parts here, the OneLeaf system. You have the RapidFire scope, which is a very good quality scope, and you have the OneLeaf NV100 unit, which is your daytime, nighttime digital camera system. If you already have the NV100, you can go and get yourself the RapidFire scope, and away you go. If you don't, you can get them both together, and they call it the RapidFire Plus, which is basically the RapidFire plus the NV100. The nice thing about this whole system is, before with the NV100, like the PARD 7, etc., you had to use these adapters. You had to tape the adapters to your scope, get them all sorted out, and then you could click it in, take it out. The RapidFire system here has that bayonet attachment built into the scope, so literally click and away you go. Dead simple, really, really nice. And what's nice is they actually do supply you with the adapter, tape and all the other bits and pieces as well, so you could actually put this on two scopes if you really wanted to, if you get the RapidFire Plus system. So really nice of them to do that. So how do we set this all up? I get asked, how do you do it? And the big question I get asked all the time is eye relief. What is the eye relief I should set? Surely when you add this on, it messes all your eye relief up. And the answer is no. So setting this all up, the first thing you need to do is you need to mount it to your rifle and get the eye relief perfect to your eye. Just treat it like a normal scope. They do supply you with Picatinny mounts. You can use them if you've got Picatinny rails. If you've got dovetail, you can put adapters in there to set them on, or because it's a 30mm tube on here, standard scope, you can use any mounting system you like, and I've used a dovetail rail system here on the Compato. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Set the scope up, get it level, use a spirit level, use the trick of lining it up with your house mortar, because your house is level, to help you get the crosshairs and the mortar of your house level. That's another trick that I've done before. Or like I said, you can just use spirit levels to make sure it's all nice and level. But do not tighten it all down until you get this eye relief sorted out. And by eye relief, I mean get the rifle into your shoulder, get your head down behind the rifle, and make sure you've got a good, clear, round sight picture. If you've got dark bits or it's obscured, then your eye relief is not correct. And if you notice, now mine is perfectly set up. The distance from the scope to my eye is about 4 or 5 inches, and that's perfectly set up. I can see the crosshairs absolutely perfectly. When I put the NV100 on, you'll notice that the actual unit itself is about 4 or 5 inches long. And this is zero eye relief, so when I put my eye down on there, it's bang on. So for all those people saying, does it mess with eye relief? No, it doesn't. It actually is designed like that on purpose. Okay, so once we've got our lie release sorted out on our rifle and it's all set up, everything's nice and level, crosshairs level, like I said, use spirit level if you need to. Tighten it all down, make sure it's nice and tight. The next thing you need to do, and a lot of people forget this, and this applies to all scopes, is set the ocular adjustment up the top here. Set that. Everybody's eyes are different, and what you need to do is you need to turn the ocular adjustment and get that crosshair as sharp as possible to your eyes. If you go and use somebody else's scope that uses glasses, you'll probably sit behind their scope and then things will be blurred. That's because you need to change that to suit your eyes. Do that, you only need to do it once because your eyes aren't going to change day to day. Once you've got that sorted out, then you've got your parallax and your magnification, just like any other scope. Okay, so zeroing. How do we go about zeroing up this? Well, you've got two ways of zeroing the RapidFire. You can zero it just like a normal scope. Once you've got everything set up, you can set up the range, you can put pellets through it, you can adjust your turrets with the clicks on the turrets and zero it up. At the end of the day, it's just a normal scope with a special bayonet attachment for the MV100. Or, and the way that I'm going to do it so that you guys can see, you can attach the MV100 on and then use the video camera system through the eyepiece here to do the zeroing. No magic, no rocket science behind this. Two methods you can do this. Can you do it at night? Yes. Obviously, once you've got the IR switched on, the IR torch switched on, but you might struggle to see where the pellet holes are unless you're using shoot and see. And I'll leave a little video of some nighttime of shoot and see, and so you can see how it works. But those are your two options really. Zero through the scope as a normal scope, or put the MV100 on, and away you go. Okay, so we've got our scope all sorted out. The next thing that we need to do is we need to set up the MV100. Again, it's a three-step process. The first process is the ocular adjustment on the back of the MV100. This adjusts your eye to the LCD screen. And again, everybody's eye is different and you only need to do this once. Easiest way to do this, hit the menu button, turn the dial up here until the images and the words are crystal clear. That means your eye is then in line and focused up with the ocular adjuster to the LCD screen. So with the ocular here. Your next step then to do is to turn the dial here to get the crosshairs pin sharp. That focuses the actual camera to the scope, and by making sure that the crosshairs are pin sharp, it means that it's in focus. Once you've done that, then you can play with your parallax and your magnification on your scope to bring it into focus or your magnification you want. So like I said, three-step process. Ocular on the actual MV100, only need to do that once. Every time you're shooting or start shooting, make sure your crosshairs are set up because this can get nudged, and then your parallax and your magnification. Dead simple. Okay, so now we're ready to zero, and this is whether you're zeroing with the scope only or with the MV unit. So I always forget to do this, and this is the third take of the video, so I'm going to make sure that I hit record so you can see what's happening. So I'm going to hit record now. Okay, I want to show you a little trick. An amount of times I see people trying to zero a brand new rifle scope combination at 30 meters, and the pellets are flying all over the place. They're not even hitting the target. They've no idea where it's going. And it's quite simple. If you're out a little bit here, at 30 meters, you're out by a long way, and you could be completely missing the target. And you know, can't hit a barn door, springs to mind. Yeah. So, little trick. Abby's behind the camera. She's just going to pan around and show you my little trick. Very simple. 10 meters. I have a box, and on that box I have a big piece of cardboard with some shoot and sees. This allows me to basically do a rough zero at 10 meters. Remember I said that small variations here lead to big variations at distance? Well, if I reduce the distance, I should be able to see where my pellets are going and roughly focus up this scope and making sure that at least the pellet is going where the scope is looking. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm actually going to go down to the right hand target. Okay, so I've got the rifle in the stand. I'm trying to keep it as steady as possible. And we're looking for the pellet now. It looks like the pellet is down at about 7 o'clock, bottom left. Now, I'm about 2 inches off target at 10 meters. Take that out to 30 meters, that's 6 inches off target. I would be missing my 6x6 target at that sort of distance. This is why I always do it this way when I first mate a rifle to a scope. So I'm going to bring it up. Now, at closer distances, you will need to turn the turrets more to make the same effect. And I want to go right, so I'm going to bring it in right a few. We'll take another shot. And the idea here is not to get perfect zero. The idea here is to get it close. You can see I'm just come up a little bit, but I definitely need to come across to the right now. So bring it across right, and we need to go up a little bit more, just a tad more. And we'll take another shot. Make sure that we've got our crosshairs in focus. Need to come across right a bit more. And the idea, like I said here, is to actually get us close, not perfect. Right a bit more. That will do. So we are basically focused at 10 meters. Now, hopefully you see why I did that at 10. When I first started off my first shot, I was 2 inches off, 2 to 3 inches off. At 30 meters, it could have gone anywhere. I can't see where the pellet's going. At least this way, I can now walk the pellet onto the center point, and I'm roughly zeroed up. So now when I shoot out at 30 meters for my zeroing, I've got a rough chance of hitting the target and seeing where it went. Okay, now I've zeroed at 10 meters, now I can attempt it out, and in my case it's going to be 25 meters. So again, make sure your crosshairs are in focus, set your parallax, set the zoom that you want to do it at, and take your shots. Again, this now is where a stand really comes in handy, because you try and keep things absolutely perfectly still as much as possible. So I'm going to take up the center target. I'm slightly high, so I need to bring it down. And again, now it's going to be smaller adjustments. Small adjustments at longer ranges make the same difference. So I'm just going to come down a little bit, a couple of clicks. And again, this is a matter of walking the pellet onto the target. I think I hit the center there. I've got splatters up there. Yeah, we got center there. So basically walk your pellet into the target. So just to sum that up really simply is 10 meters, get yourself rough zeroed when you first make your rifle and your scope together. Once you've got that sorted out, then move out to your zero range, and every time you go shooting or ratting or hunting, always do the zero at the range that you want to do. So guys, hopefully that's answered quite a few questions on it. Now there's 2 more things that you need to do. Put your turret caps back on to protect them and stop them getting twisted but turned accidentally. And the final thing is in the MV unit itself. Go to the menu option, the very top menu option. There's an option there to center the reticle to the actual LCD screen. I will leave a little video of that running where I've recorded it. But basically what you'll get is your crosshairs your main crosshairs of your scope, but on screen you will see a little white set of crosshairs. You move them down using the arrow keys and center them to the crosshairs of the scope. And what that does is it shifts the whole of the LCD screen into the correct position. So your screen is centralized with the crosshairs for your rifle. That's the final procedure that you need to do. Once you've done that, you should be good to go. And because this system here is actually now all built in with the RapidFire, unlike the manual way of doing it with the tape, like on the pads, and this wobbles constantly, every time you click in, it's ready to go. You can shoot with the scope, without the MV100, or with the MV100. But hopefully that's answered quite a lot of your questions. Let me know your thoughts and comments. Hopefully it's been useful for you guys, just as general zero-in tricks there. But yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts and comments. And if you're interested in the RapidFire or the RapidFire Plus, like I said, check it out in the YouTube video description, or down here I'm leaving the discount code that you can use and sign up. I hope you enjoyed the video, and catch you on the next one.